to come in here on my iliac crest over to my ASIS. So some tenderness coming off of that ASIS, distal, worried about, hip flexor strain. So that's going to be the first two things I palpate, iliac crest to ASIS. Now, I'm going to do what we talked about, right? So with your hand, I want you to palpate your lower abdomen all the way down to your pubic bone. Palpate all the way down there. If she has any tenderness, marked tenderness, I'm going to come in behind it and kind of see exactly where that is. Is that down, is it in the belly of the muscle, or is it down by the insertion point? And then I'm going to have her do the same thing for the adductor. I'm going to expose it a little bit. I'm just going to lay her leg out like this, and she's going to palpate adductor to the pubic bone. So she's going to exact same thing that we did with the lower abdomen. And then if she finds a spot, we're going to come in there and see for sure where that is, where that's located. Okay? So you'll need to come in behind them wherever they're palpating and seeing. If they don't find a spot, no, okay. Or it's real simple for you to say, point with me, or point with one finger where you're hurting the most. Now, we're going to be talking about a little bit more lateral, right? Is it rectus femoris or psoas? So my rectus femoris psoas is going to be sitting a little bit more out here. So off of here, is there pain coming out here? And I'm okay with us palpating this. It's a lot less problem here. So is your pain coming from here, or was it more from your adductor, lower abdominal region? Okay? So your palpations, ASIS, or iliac crest to ASIS. She's going to palpate lower abdomen to pubic. They're going to palpate adductor to pubic. And then I'm going to come in and kind of reaffirm as to where exactly that point was. I'll follow the abdomen, I'll follow the adductor, and then maybe come a little bit more lateral. Okay? So those are my palpations. Now, active range of motion. Can you bring your hip all the way up? Any problems with that? I'm going to set her foot down. Abduction, adduction. I want you to just let it fall out. If they have a hurt hip, they won't go that fast, okay? And then bring it back together. So AB and AD. So she abducts, adducts. On her own, that's active range of motion, right? Now, since I've got her in that position, I'm going to have her take her leg all the way straight and then internally and externally rotate. So if you roll your leg one way or the other, does that give you any pain down deep in the hip? Then I can go straight into my MMTs. Similar to my knee, right? Rectus femoris, does that hurt? Or does this hurt more? Foot down, does this hurt? Bring it out a little bit more, does this hurt? Does this hurt? So I did active, she put it down, she here, she internally and externally rotated. Okay, quad set, straight leg raised for me, bring it up. Does that hurt? Rectus femoris, psoas, adductor, okay, in my three different spots. So I hit all three of those. Straight SLR, 90-90, adduction. Now I've got her in this spot. I'm going to take her up, okay, and I'm just going to ask her, does deep hip flexion hurt? Okay, so we're trying to impinge the joint at this point, right? What's down in there? My femur is sitting way down in my acetabulum. I've got hyaline cartilage, I've got labrum, I've got ligament. So pain could be coming with any one of those. So deep flexion, I'm just going to internally and externally rotate. Does that give you any pain? Okay. Now I'm going to take her down into, or I can take her into fatter. So I'm going to flexion, adduction, internal rotation. Does that hurt?
A little bit.
Then I'm going to take her, I'm going to bend her. This is my quadrant. And now I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to kind of sit on it a little bit. Because what I'm trying to do is push the femoral head down into the acetabulum and then internally and externally rotate. Crunch, pop, grind, right? Okay? It can mean a number of different things. I'm trying to provoke pain. Is there a click or a pop? Could be impingement. Could be articular cartilage. Could be FAI. Could be labrum. Okay? Don't know for sure, but that's the test for some of those. After that, I'm going to take her all the way out into the log roll. Okay, so I extend her. Remember, I pushed in like this. This is where we said there would normally be pain. and I'm going to let go and see if she comes back for the ligament part, and then externally rotate. So my log roll is internal rotation, let go, and then externally rotate. They're not going to bounce back from the external rotation. Internal rotation log roll, is there pain with that? And then let go, see if it bounces back, and then roll it back the other way. Okay? After I do the log roll, then I'm going to put her in the Patrick Fabers. Patrick Fabers, we're going to see in the next lecture, is for PSIS. We're trying to take those innominate bones and see if they've got some SI joint pathology. But I'm going to use it as what? A fulcrum to see if I'm getting deep pain in here. An adductor strain, remember, she's not going to like to come out here either. She's not going to let that fall. So that can give me some false positives, but I'm really looking for deep pain whenever I put tension. I'm trying to, go like this to the femur and to the femoral neck and trying to get it to recreate pain for me. I'm using it as a fulcrum test, okay? After that, I'm going to check for the athletic pubalgia. I can easily just take her foot, drop it off. She's going to fold her arms. She's going to do a crunch, and I'm going to bring her up here and do that at the same time and see if that makes her hurt the most, okay? So I did the MMTs to see if it hurt in there, and then whenever I have her do those combo, ooh, man, that makes it hurt a lot. Don't do that, because then it's a dead giveaway. You didn't like it, okay? But that's how we check for athletic pubalgia. We text them both at the same time, okay? That is my athletic pubalgia test. For the hip, we don't do a lot of lower extremity neuro. We will do all the lower extremity neuro so none of our real times, foot, ankle, knee, or the hip, do we do a full lower extremity neuro. We did MMTs though, right? To see if there's marked weakness. If we've got radicular pain, that's different. Neuroma in the foot hurts right here. We've got the Mulder's test, right? So if we think neurological, in the ankle, we can do dorsiflexion, eversion, and we can do along with our Tinel's, right? So the only time that we'll do a full-on lower extremity neuros with the lumbar. And what's the most key one? Doing that. Dorsalis, dorsal pedal, we'll check the pulse just like we always do, okay? So any tingling and numbness, check pulse, okay? So everybody got it?